Buddhist Association, this conference.
As you have heard, the importance of the relics, the Buddha's relics today. Now I'd like to address you, what's the uniqueness of Buddhism? Buddhism, the awakened way of life, appeared overnight, fully formed through the Buddha's self-enlightenment under the Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, India, 2602 years ago. Since then, Buddhism has propagated all over the world into various Buddhist sects and schools. Yet, through the teachings of certain Buddhist principles, they would serve to identify them as the true Buddhist branches. One, the Buddha himself is the original great teacher and the founder of this religion that all Buddhists revere and pay respect to, especially to his relics, the only long-lasting physical evidence of his existence since he passed away of parinirvana 2,557 years ago, besides his profound teaching of the provable truth. The second is nirvana. Nirvana is the common goal to all branches of Buddhism. It's a state of ultimate peace and happiness with a total liberation, intellectual and spiritual freedom that can be realized through enlightenment. Just as the ocean has one taste, the taste of salt, this teaching has the essence of the truth of freedom. A person is born half free and half dependent. Former generations' knowledge and skill provide guidance and information. That one is still free to choose and think to pursue one's own path. With the incorrect guidance, one could become totally dependent, surrendering to gods, praying and calling upon them to give them protection and grant them their wishes. But in Buddhism, it is the great wisdom that can set you free through total liberation with inside wisdom. So wisdom is a decisive factor of enlightenment, not faith or concentrated meditation. Once gaining insight into the truth through insight meditation, faith is transcended. The third identifiable thing is, the third one is the insight meditation or vipassana. It's unique to Buddhism. Through the four foundations of mindfulness, the technique and method provided by the Buddha to cultivate mindful awareness, one would perceive through unbiasedly, with pure perception, the true nature of things as they truly are, especially about oneself, one's own body and mind. You can see the true nature of oneself, that there's no true self-entity existing, but an illusory self-image hologram generated by one's own bias. The fourth identifiable factor is the three universal marks or characteristics of existence, or tilakkhana. One would come to realize that one impermanence, that all conditioned things or phenomena are impermanent, or anicca. The second one is imperfection. All conditioned things or phenomena are subject to stress and conflict, dukkha. And the third is selflessness. All things, whether conditioned or unconditioned, are not self or selfless, anatta. Selflessness or impersonality or insubstantiality or anatta are equivalent to voidness and emptiness, sunyata, of all phenomena, can only be realized with penetrated insight wisdom, not through any thinking or logic, and would free one's mind into a total liberation from all attachment and attain the final liberation or total freedom of nirvana through disenchantment, discernment, and liberation without revelation nor inspiration from Supreme Being. These three universal characteristics of existence are the corollary to the law of dependent arising, which are the fifth identifiable marks. The law of dependent origination or arising, unique to Buddhism, was realized by the Buddha through his enlightenment. He discovered the true nature of things, that nothing but nirvana exists independently, but it coexists with the others as the cause or the effect. The law of dependent arising reveals the conditionality and dependent nature of all physical and psychological